Royal Shocker Update. Princess Leonor marries Christian, never-before-seen ceremony moments. The world expected a royal wedding, grand, elegant, and steeped in tradition. But no one was ready for this. The vows, the reactions, the moments that cameras almost missed. This wasn't just a royal wedding. It was history rewriting itself before our eyes. What happened inside the cathedral stunned even the royal families themselves. Now, for the first time, we reveal what truly unfolded at Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's breathtaking royal ceremony, the emotions, the whispers, and the moments that the world will never forget. Princess Leonor of Spain, the future queen, the young royal who captured the heart of a nation, and now, the heart of a Danish prince. Her love story with Prince Christian has fascinated Europe for years. But the wedding, it was something no one could have predicted. The day began like any other royal event, perfectly choreographed, meticulously planned. Yet behind the royal smiles, behind the tiaras and uniforms, there was tension. A quiet storm of emotion that would soon pour into the open. The guests began to arrive early at Copenhagen's historic Frederiksberg Palace Chapel, the chosen site for the ceremony. Over 5,000 guests filled the streets outside, waving flags of Spain and Denmark. Inside, the world's most powerful royals, nobles, and dignitaries gathered under the glittering chandeliers. The air was electric. Cameras flashed. Every eye was fixed on the entrance. Then, the music began. A single violin note echoed through the hall. Princess Leonor appeared. Her gown shimmered like liquid silver, designed by Spain's most revered couturier. Every detail spoke of heritage, power, and grace. The train stretched endlessly behind her, a symbol of centuries of monarchy. But there was something else, something different about her expression. Calm, steady, a quiet strength that told the world, this wasn't a girl anymore. This was a queen in waiting, walking into her destiny. As she walked down the aisle, the guests held their breath. Prince Christian stood at the altar, his eyes locked on her. In that moment, two royal houses, once separated by borders, became one heart. Yet, amid the fairy tale beauty, something unplanned happened. Just before Leonor reached the altar, the music faltered. The orchestra paused. A hush fell over the room. For a few seconds, there was silence, pure, heavy silence. And then, to everyone's surprise, Leonor smiled. A small, radiant smile. She turned to her father, King Felipe, and whispered something no microphone caught. But those sitting close swore they heard the words, "Let's begin again." The orchestra resumed. And from that moment, the ceremony took on a deeper meaning. When the priest spoke of unity between nations, the camera caught Queen Letizia wiping away a tear. Crown Prince Frederick and Crown Princess Mary exchanged looks that seemed to say, this is more than a wedding. This is history in motion. As the vows began, Christian's voice trembled slightly. "Leonor," he said, "you've shown me that love is not found in a crown, but in courage." His words echoed through the hall. The crowd erupted in emotion, dignified, yet deeply moved. Then came Leonor's vow, one that would later make headlines around the world. "I marry you not as a princess," she said, "but as a woman who chooses love, even when duty demands otherwise." The chapel fell silent. It was more than romantic, it was defiant. A statement that broke centuries of royal restraint. That moment changed everything. As they exchanged rings, the cameras panned to the Spanish delegation. King Felipe sat tall but proud. Queen Letizia clasped her hands tightly, her eyes fixed on her daughter. For her, this was more than ceremony, it was watching Spain's future step into a new era. And then, the kiss. A single moment that felt like time froze. It wasn't just tender, it was powerful. The crowd erupted. Bells rang across Copenhagen. The royal families stood, applauding. But the emotion in their faces told the real story. The Danish Queen Margrethe looked overwhelmed with pride. King Philippe's eyes glistened. And for a fleeting second, as the two nations' flags unfurled above the palace, you could feel it, a unity that went beyond politics, beyond protocol. But the most unforgettable moment happened right after. When the couple stepped outside, a roar greeted them. Thousands of fans, royal supporters, and media from across the globe cheered their names. But then, the unexpected, a sudden drizzle began to fall. Leonore laughed, lifting her gown slightly, and looked up to the sky. Christian took off his ceremonial cape and placed it around her shoulders. The crowd melted. It wasn't just a picture-perfect scene, it was real. Pure. Human. For many watching, it symbolized a new kind of monarchy, one not bound by rigidity but built on authenticity. Behind the scenes, sources reveal that even the palace staff were moved to tears. The reception that followed was equally breathtaking. A hall filled with gold and crimson, Spain's royal colors mingling with Denmark's. The newlyweds entered hand in hand, greeted by a standing ovation. During the first dance, the orchestra played a Spanish-Danish fusion melody, composed secretly for this day. The lyrics spoke of unity, destiny, and eternal love. The crowd swayed, mesmerized. Even the youngest royals, Princess Isabella, Sofia, and the future heirs, looked on with admiration. But perhaps the most emotional moment came later that evening. As the speeches began, King Felipe stood to speak. His voice, steady but emotional, resonated through the hall. A father's pride, he said, is knowing that his daughter carries the strength of a nation and the heart of her mother. Tears filled the room. Queen Letizia then took the microphone, her tone soft yet resolute. "Leonore," she said, "you were born into duty. But today, you chose love. That is what makes you worthy of both." Those words, raw, maternal, powerful, became the headline of the night. The cameras later captured a private moment between Leonore and her younger sister, Princess Sofia. Away from the spotlight, Sofia hugged her tightly and whispered, "You've changed everything." That line would later be quoted across royal media as the defining moment of the night. And she had. By the end of the evening, the royal world felt different. Younger. More open. More human. This wedding didn't just unite two heirs, it united two visions of what modern royalty could be. Reports later confirmed that several European royals privately admitted that the wedding set a new standard, one that would influence how future royal marriages are seen and celebrated. But beyond the pomp and ceremony, one truth remained: Princess Leonore and Prince Christian's marriage wasn't about tradition, it was about transformation. As dawn broke over Copenhagen, the newlyweds appeared on the palace balcony one last time. The crowd below still cheered, refusing to leave. Leonore, in a soft cream cloak, leaned into Christian's shoulder as they waved to the people. The sky glowed pink, a royal sunrise for a new chapter in European history. This wedding didn't just shake the monarchy. It rewrote what it means to be royal. And in that final image, two young hearts standing united above a sea of cheering fans, one could sense it clearly, the old world fading and the new one beginning with them. Princess Leonore, Prince Christian, love crowned by destiny, and for those who witnessed it, a memory that will echo through royal history forever.